How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be replacing a pulley with a bad bearing on the 5.0 engine, and since pulley replacement for a bad bearing is a pretty common problem, I thought this video might help some of you guys when you need to do it in the future. So today we're going to be talking about symptoms of a bad pulley bearing, how to identify which pulley is the one with the bad bearing, and then how to replace it. The first thing you need to know is that on your engine there will be tensioner and idler pulleys. They generally look like this, or they can have grooves on the top and bottom, but they usually have a bearing in the center. When that bearing goes bad, just like any other bearing, it starts to make noise and wobble around. The wobbling can kill your belts, and the noise will definitely drive you insane. So for 12 or 15 bucks, replacing that pulley and saving yourself the headache is a pretty good idea. So we already picked up this new pulley, but let's go hear what that bad pulley sounds like while it's still on the motor. So the sound we're going to be looking out for is a high-pitched shushing sound, kind of like shh. And then I'm going to take the camera over to the two pulleys that we have bearings in. We have an idler bearing and a tensioner bearing. The one we're replacing today is the tensioner bearing, and I'll show you why in a minute. So the pulley we're going to be replacing is this one over here, which is for our belt tensioner. We decided which one to replace by putting our ear next to the two pulleys while they were running, and deciding which one sounded louder or sounded bad. In this case, it was the tensioner pulley that sounded like it was off, and the idler pulley actually sounded like it wasn't making very much noise at all. So we're going to see if the sound goes away after replacing this pulley, and if not, the idler pulley will need to be replaced too. We'll start by getting the belt out of the way. Release the tension on the belt and then move it to the side so it won't be in the way while you're working. Removing pulleys is different on all kinds of different cars, so look up online how to remove the pulley off your type of vehicle. For us, it's just a bolt that we have to loosen and then the pulley slides right off. But you may need to rent a puller or installer tool for your pulleys. Installing the new pulley is simply a reverse of taking the old one off. We're going to reinstall the old belt and then fire it back up and see how it sounds. Alright guys, so it sounds like it fixed the high-pitched whirring sound, but it didn't fix the rattling noise. So that I'm still going to have to look into. It might be that idler pulley, or it might be that it needs valve lash adjustment or something of the sort. I'm still getting this motor worked out, but we're handling one problem at a time. So let me explain why our old pulley was bad. While the idler bearing spun really freely and just made a little bit of noise, the tensioner bearing spins freely and makes a lot of noise. Eventually this will turn into sideways wobble and up and down play, or in a worst case scenario, it could bind up and overheat and then melt itself or weld to the motor. As this pulley spins, it should be completely silent because there should be almost no play between the bearings and the bearing surfaces that they ride on. But this bearing sounds like this. So clearly it spins really freely because it continues spinning that long, but it does make that high-pitched sound that we wanted to get rid of. That sound has been driving me mad whenever I drive this car around, and I'm so glad that I finally got it fixed. Next up, we'll figure out that rattling because if it's the valves, that's important and needs to be fixed soon. If it's the idler pulley, it's not that big a deal and I can wait on it. I know this episode was short, guys, but thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them for me down below, and if you liked the video, please leave me a like or subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. Until then, I'll see you guys next time on Full Tilt Drift.